Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, let me show you right quick. Today I've been working on the bean planter and I got it hooked on the 8070, and I actually pulled it out of the corner and then backed it back down in here, but I got it pulled out away that way I can walk down over there behind it up against the wall. And so I'm checking tire pressures and that kind of stuff. So I get you put back into my official camera holder. There we go. Now I just gotta try and find the valve stem. Crawl halfway underneath it. These inside tires, I was actually just looking in the book, and the inside tires are 75 psi. And that one's right at 70, so not too far off. One thing for sure, you get going down the road, especially when you have beans in it, of which we try not to run super heavy, but even still, it don't take long to add up on your weight. The way this main frame here is designed, it's all rigid, and so if the road has a big berm going down the middle of it where the center's rounded up pretty good, these inside tires actually end up carrying a lot of the weight. Okay, there we are, 75 on that one. Because as you can see, it's all that big tube frame right there, and so it's all fixed. Well, that's all well and good when you're on flat out in the dirt, out in the field. Of course, out in the field, the wing wheels take a lot of weight too. However, when you have it raised up into transport mode, these four take all the weight. And of course, that valve stem's got to be clear down in behind that frame tube where you can hardly get to it. Hopefully it's not too dark that you can't see. Maybe I can reach it easier on this side. But like I say, when you get onto it, especially on the county roads, where you can get a pretty good road berm, as you can see, these inside tires here, the way it's set, going straight across, the inside tires, if it's bermed up pretty good, end up carrying a lot of the weight, just because of how the road is. And that's why, now on the highway, it's good and flat, so no big deal. But even still, especially on the county roads, we never go very fast down the road, just because it's so heavy. Okay, that's got those. Get this one out here. In fact, I actually had a guy tell me, and this has been actually several years ago, that a big farmer up east of here had a big Kinze planter. And, well, quick side note, the Kinze 8-row, 12-row, and 16-row are the only three sizes that they make that stand up and turn on that middle post like that. And anyway, I'm pretty sure it was a 16-row that guy had. Anyway, in fact, it actually ended up being our tire salesman that we buy tractor tires through, telling me this. But he said they were, like most guys, not paying any attention, and or it could have also been a hired guy. But they went flying down a county road, bouncing and a bumping, and right up there where you can see it's got all that structure to hold that whole tail section, which actually when you rotate the planter, it ends up being the left-hand side of the planter. But he said what happened was, he said they went bouncing down through a rough spot, and it actually ended up breaking those welds that hold that, and the whole back and the back of the planter just broke off, and in the road it went. And so that's why we don't go very fast down the county road, because that's a pretty lousy way to start the day off. Get up, take off, and the back of the planter breaks off. And so, not a very good way to start your day. And so then these wing wheels here, they run 40 pounds. Yeah, that one's at 30. Getting there. Okay, there we are at 40. In fact, come to think of it, I had another air tester, and I must have left it back here on the ground. Yep, right there it is. This is one of those air chucks that you can squeeze a little trigger and it'll stick right onto the valve stem. And then, oh, you probably can't really see it too well yet, but up there on top is the seed drive wheels that drive the seed shaft. And those run 50 PSI. That tire must be heavy on a little heavier on one side than it is the other. It keeps wanting to roll around on me. Okay, there we are at 40 on that one. Okay, here we are. Yeah, and here's these little wheels up here. These run the seed drive shaft. And they run 50 PSI. And so when you go to lower the planter down, these wing wheels right here come up, and this little, well, there's two of them. One here, you might be able to see that. One right over there. And they sit right down and drive on top of these ground wheels. And that's what turns the seed drive shaft. And they have each wheel has two big springs. You might be able to see it right there. There's one, and right there's the other, that keep spring tension pulled down. That way they get good contact. However, you get running, especially if you happen to hit a wet spot, you got to be careful. Otherwise, these little wheels can actually begin to slip and affect your population, and so you don't want that. Okay, there's 50 on that one. Quite a bit of air for a little small tire. However, you want it rock hard. That way it makes good contact with the main wheel drive. And they are actually one way. Right now I'm going the wrong way. And you can hear that clicking. That's the slip clutch. It's like a one-way clutch. This right here going through the field is how they normally drive. Actually, as it's going through the field, these wheels actually turn backwards like that. As it drives off of the ground wheel. And this tire here, come on. This tire here was at about 35 also. Yeah, we're at 45, just a little bit more. Okay, there we are at 50. Okay, well, hey, tell you what, I've got to work down that end, but it's the same thing, just pumping up on the left hand, on the other end drive tires. It's same thing. You got your two wing wheels and then your two seed drive wheels, because this set of seed drive wheels runs the right hand half the planter, and same thing on that end. Those wheels down there run the left hand side of the planter. And so, yeah, so we're getting this big guy ready to go. So hey, take care, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.